Hi everyone. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through on how to create a rack using LangFlow. So to start with, I will explain what rack or RAG stands for. I will use an image that I found on the internet to explain about it. So you may have heard this terminology called rack, which is quite popular nowadays. It stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. So what what it does actually? Just imagine you want to create a chatbot. A chatbot will need to use the information from your document, your website, in order to answer the questions. Now, um, for RAG, there are two processes. Number one is the one that is on top, called ingestion, right? So ingestion typically means that you have a document, or actually this document can also be your content of your web page, and the document can be any format, can be PDF, can be docx, and so on. The content of document will be extracted and then will be chunked using chunker. I will show later in TimeFlow how you do it very easily. But what Chunker does, it split your document into multiple chunks based on, let's say, your requirement, whether you want to use split per, let's say, 100,000 token. Let's say one token is 4 character, means split per 4,000 characters, or some other strategy that can be thought of, right? And after the document is split into chunk, each chunk will be factorized using an embedding model. So to explain a bit about embedding model will take your uh, text, or in this case the chunk of the document, and convert it into a vector. And then it's needed? Because it relates to the second part of the RAG, which is the retrieval and response generation. So let's say you have factorized your document related to product manual. Whenever there is a query or the question happen from the user asking about the product, the query itself or the question itself will be factorized using an embedding. And then the same embedding, same embedding model that was used for the ingestion. And then there will be a function to search the relevant vector from the query that has been converted into vector using some kind of similarity search. And then it will give or return the closest chunk. The closest chunk will be used by LLM, if you see this, but the closest chunk will be augmented in the prompt. And I will show you in more detail what it means when I do the demo, and walk you through how to create your first RAG in LangFlow. It will be augmented in the prompt, and then the closest chunk together with the prompt that you have composed will be sent to LLM to generate the response. So that's what it means by RAG from conceptual perspective. Okay, now let's move into practice. So if you have not installed LangFlow, you can go to this website, docs.langflow.org, get started installation, and then you can install LangFlow Desktop. I recommend you install LangFlow Desktop, especially if you are using macOS. And I will move to the LangFlow itself. So I have already the project for the rack that I have created. So I will go there. But if you want to create a new rack project in LangFlow, the quickest way to do it is to create a new flow, and then you use all template here, and then search for rack. Here I find directly the vector store rack. Now here you will already get oh wait, this is already, oh yeah, here you get the let's say the how you call it, the template, right? The template is using AstraDB for the database to store the vector, and using OpenAI embedding. Now, if you have OpenAI API key, you have AstraDB token, you can just put the API key and the token into this node, and then you can actually ingest your document using this ingestion flow. So to illustrate what I mentioned, right? The ingestion is the document chunk split. In this case, the chunk size is 1,000 token with overlap of 200. And then you can use OpenAI embedding or some other embedding, which I will show you because I have already made example. But if you have already OpenAI key and you would love to use OpenAI, you can just put it here. And then for the vector store, you can use AstraDB, which I will show using AstraDB for the convenience. But you can also use other vector store, right? pgvector if you have PostgreSQL and enable the extension, or Vice or LocalDB, Chroma, Milvus, and so on, right? So there are many how you call it, many options or choices that you have here. Okay, this is the ingestion part. The retrieval part is you have a chat input, and then you have the factor store node. This is the same factor store with as this one. So you will put the same, you will use the same database, same collection. I will show you later. And then you will also add the same embedding model. So if you use embedding model of OpenAI, text embedding 3 small, you need to use the same embedding model. Otherwise, it will not work. Okay. And then you can have a parser. So this parser will format a data frame or data object into text, and then the parse text will be used as a context in the prompt. If you remember the chart that I showed earlier for the retrieval part, you will see there's a prompt. The context will be given here, and then the question from the input will also be given here. Then you will send it to LLM. If you remember the chart, it will send to LLM, which is in this case OpenAI, and then you can choose whether you want to use GPT for Omini, and so on. And then you will get an output. The output will use the context, and then LLM will compose the response based on your system prompt or your prompt template here. All right, I think that's enough explanation. So I will go directly with the one that I have created. So I have already sorry, this is still the same one. I have already created previously the same flow, actually really the same flow, but I just changed into Bedrock. Bedrock is a provider from Amazon for foundation model. I don't have API key of OpenAI, so hence I'm using Bedrock. And yeah, the first step is that you will need to put or to not put to ingest the document that you want to load into the vector store, right? As I mentioned earlier. So in this case, I already have the document uploaded to Langflow, which is the G-Mini2 user manual. I have just deleted. Okay. I will show you before I do this. I will show you the AstraDB. So I have already created a database, but there is no collection at all. Now what I'm gonna do, I will go back to Langflow, and I will add new collection. Here I will use product manuals. Bring your own because you will use the embedding model from Bedrock, and we use 1024 dimensions. All right, now the product manuals is here, and it should also be presented here. So I'm not gonna tell you how to create database from AstraDB. So these things you perhaps can create by yourself. This is the URL, like astra.datastax.com. You can sign up and create database, right? So I have already a database that I mentioned earlier. I have created a collection called product manuals from Langflow console. Now what I will do is I will run this node. So what this node will run the file content extraction, splitting it into chunk and then vectorize it. Okay. So I'm currently running. It takes some time. Let me see if some data has been converted and you can see it. Also here, okay, not yet. So it will be like together. So you see that there is this circle. It means that this process of file extraction, splitting, and then using embedding, loading the embedding has been completed, and it's now waiting. This one has completed. The AstraDB has completed. Maybe I will zoom a bit. Yeah, there is this how many seconds of duration that the process has been run, and for the completion, it will show the seconds. Now, if I go back to the AstraDB, you will see that the database collection has been populated with the content from the PDF. And I will start now asking some questions, right? So basically, if I ask questions about, before I'm asking questions, let me making sure that I use the product manual. Yeah, okay. And as I said, everything also on the retrieval part is just changed from OpenAI into Bedrock. And if you see the embedding, I use embedding Titan Embed Text v2.0. The same also use here. If I use the other embedding model, it will fail. and then I link it to the AstraDB, which is the database that I've shown earlier, and I modify a bit the prompt. So I add this sentence from the template, like answer the question as best as possible without any preamble. Why I'm adding this? So that the bot will answer without like saying based on provided context or based on the information I have. So it's directly answer the questions. And then for the Bedrock model, I'm using the 3.5 Sonnet V1. You can of course try other model from Bedrock. Yeah, and this is the chat output, right? So let's start the question. So I can use playground here. So what is the max speed of Gemini 2? So you can see there is a process running. And it's answering that the maximum flight speed of Gemini 2 is 36 mph. Is that the correct answer? Let's check it out. Maximum, yeah, here. The maximum speed is 36 mph, which is correct, right? And let's ask the other question. What camera empowers Gemini? So it said it's use CMOS sensor camera. Let's search CMOS. All right. So yeah, Gemini 2 use CMOS sensor camera 1/2.3, which can shoot up to 4K video and 12 MP photos. The camera has aperture of f2.8 and can shoot from 1 mm to infinity. Great. So it's answered perfectly. Now you may want to integrate this into how you call it, into your real UI bot, right? So how you can do it? You can search for API access here, and then you can, if you use Python or JavaScript or curl, you can copy the code and then use it in your app. I'm gonna test it with Postman. So I do already have this, right? I will go to Postman. Here, I already remember the header. You need to put API key and application or JSON. If you notice in the video, I don't show you my API key of my Amazon or my AstraDB, but because this is the local host, I don't mind to show it. So I just add content type and XAPI key here as per the code sample. Use Postman for quick API testing, and I will ask the same question using the payload from the code sample, right? So even if it is localhost, there are some latency. Why? Because it calls the model from the cloud provider, for both to the embedding to factorize and also to generate response. But it gives the same answer as what was in the playground of LangFlow. That's it. That's my short video to give you how to create a RAG-based chatbot using LangFlow. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks.